What's the best kind of cake? I really dig chocolate cakes with fruit like cherries inside. Tres leches red velvet is a close second. Three leches is quite good when done right. Marble cake. And it seems to be so hard to get around here as well. I haven't seen one that didn't come in a little package. Maybe I should attempt baking one. Doesn't matter. The cake is a lie. That's enough out you. Back to testing. When life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Make life take the lemons back. Get mad. My mom makes a great yellow cake and chocolate frosting with some banana pudding mix in the batter. Also, red velvet cake. Please have your mom send me her recipe. Thanks. Yum. Adding banana pudding to it? What kind of delicious crazy talk is this? I think I love your mom. In the most respectable of ways. Ice cream cake, best of both worlds, happy cake day. Ice cream cake with the crunchy bits between layers. Isn't that just ice cream shaped like cake, or is there actual cake in it? I mean, if we are going to be picky about it, it's more like an ice cream sundae shaped like cake. Usually there is real cake there beneath the ice cream. The ice cream often just replaces the icing. Thanks. I do love me some ice cream cake. Baskin-Robbins mint chocolate chip. Coffee cake is pretty good. Also, happy carrot cakeday. I don't think I've ever had a good coffee cake. Not saying I don't like it, just never had one that wasn't store-bought or packaged. I should add a homemade coffee cake to my bucket list. Also, thanks. I really like a basic recipe that I found, though I think I made the streusel topping a little differently than this one's. You've got me hungry for one now, haha. All are inferior to cheesecake. Frozen cake. It doesn't become rock solid, just a little firmer and cold. It kind of reminds me of ice cream. It warms up and melts in your mouth with little pockets of cold air because it's so airy. Yum. I used to love semi-frozen cereally pound cake. HRMMMM. Reminds me of wedding cake a year after it's been in the freezer, a little too dry at times. But that's for the input. That yellow cake with chocolate frosting, my guy. Who in their right mind would put chocolate frosting on uranium oxide? Listen man, some of us want fallout sooner than later. Basic, but I can respect that. It has a classic look to it. Semicolon dash. I'm a basic eater. Plain pizza, plain burgers. Just give me the meat and potatoes. Texas sheet cake. It's so moist and chocolatey. It's especially good if you add extra icing on top. I haven't found something I've liked more than Texas sheet cake and good vanilla ice cream. Wow, no one replied chocolate cake. Choc cake is perfect. It has to be moist and soft and creamy. Chocolate cake from a Walmart or Sam's Club. Your mouth will thank you later. HRMMM. Not sure about this one, but I'll try it at least once. Cannoli cake. Only had it once, and I've craved it ever since. Pineapple upside down or strawberry. Actual red velvet cake, which has been quite rare for many years now. Real red velvet cake obtained its distinctive color and texture from a chemical reaction. Chocolate powder was alkaline and the addition of buttermilk or vinegar, both acidic, would cause a chemical reaction that would change the color and texture. But the mass production process eventually decided that they wanted to sell chocolate powder that was on the acidic side of the pH scale for reasons probably cheaper, so you don't get that original reaction anymore, unless you go out of your way to find alkaline powder. Most red velvet cakes these days are essentially a regular cake with a ton of red food dye, and they just aren't the same. I had true red velvet recently, and was unlike any I had in the past. That texture, they call it velvet for a reason. And the subtle hint of a tang of buttermilk. As opposed to they took a granular, crumb-filled Duncan Hines pudding in the mix cake and dumped in a quart of food dye. Hey, look, a day of cake. Cake is disgusting, it's too sweet. That piece of cake next to your name looks appetizing. UL_human. I'm going to try a slice for myself. What? Hey, we can each have cake. Happy cake day. Moist chocolate cake with dulce-de-leche filling and chocolate frosting. Cheesecake. It is expensive and hard to make, but it is so worth it. Tres leche is good too. I don't know the real name, but it's a crunchy bottom, then pistachio pudding, then sweet end and whipped cream cheese, then whipped cream, then roasted almonds. I could eat the whole thing. Some things fatigue your interest. This does not. We call it green dessert. HRMMM. If you find a name, let me know. Not carrot. I once said I liked carrot cake and had to eat it for my birthday for the next 20 years. Don't you just love that? You mentioned you like something once and then you get it from your parents for the next 20 years. Tastes change over time. Wedding cake. Said no one ever. Haha. No joke. Especially when they have that Play-Doh-like frosting. Chocolate banana cake with peanut butter buttercream frosting. It is so good. Ice cream cake, yellow cake with chocolate cake, cheesecake. For me it's either carrot or lava. Pound cake with a whipped cream and fondant on top. There is the absolute best red velvet cake, and then there are heretics who disagree. Vanilla cake. Chocolate icing. Why yes. The one that is going in my mouth. Chocolate. It's honestly the greatest. Cheesecake and pound cake are equally delicious. My mum's apple cake. Very simple recipe but delicious. The last time she made it, I took it to work and shared it. Everyone loved it. I'm very proud of my mum's apple cake and rang her to tell her how everyone loved it, but she was frustrated with me because she thought I would have taken it home to have with my son. So the next time she made apple cake she made two, one for me to share at work and one to share with my son. She's an angel. Lol. Willing to share a recipe. Happy cake day. I list ingredients, but don't know quantities. 1 to 2 apples, flour, olive oil, sugar, maybe eggs. She sometimes adds cinnamon. The kind you can have and eat it too. Confetti cake. After that, it's pie or nothing. Y'all ever try champagne cake? It's so good. It's all about that icing actually. Choco flan cake with cajita in the middle is my favorite by far. You don't need frosting when you have flan and cajita. The little cupcakes you get from Tesco's in 3 flavors. Strawberry are best. Red velvet is lovely. The chocolate fudge is okay. But still, best cupcakes you can buy easily that are mass made I found. Little cupcakes? As in the little version of regular cupcakes, which is already a little version of cake? Honestly, where does it end with you people? Reluctantly crouched at the starting line. Hulubian Putina, Siasto Z Crimum laughs in polish. Red velvet, with the cream cheese frosting. Chocolate, happy cake day by the way. Carvel ice cream cake is by far the best in my opinion. Tres leches. I don't know why it's not popular in the States, so good. Tuxedo cake from Costco or Fredmere. Chocolate, happy cake day by the way. Farts. Also visit cacofots.com. Just be sure your antivirus is running. The cake with pineapple and almond. The kind that's next to your name right now. Chocolate. Chocolate makes everything better. Ice cream cake. Best cold and I love ice cream. My grandmother made a sour cream chocolate cake with chocolate frosting. Even if I have had a better cake, hers will always be my favorite. German chocolate, Blast Forest or the sheet cake our local market makes. Regular white cake with fresh raspberries inside. Good lord, it is good. The kind of cake that lets me have it and eat it too. Chocolate cinnamon with cream cheese frosting. The yellow cake with homemade chocolate frosting. IDK what flavor the yellow kind is, and IDK what the name of the cake is, but it looks like this. Carrot cake. It's totally underrated. Cake day cake, obviously. And happy cake day to you, Opus. Not sure if you intentionally set that up or not. For Teachers Appreciation Week, one of my students brought me a white chocolate raspberry cake from a company called Nothing Bundt Cakes. I have had all sorts of cakes and that had to be one of the best cakes I've ever had. Yellow cake with chocolate icing. The lie. It's also the only type of cake. Strawberry shortcake, especially McCain's, and the lesser known raspberry shortcake. Buttercream is best thing to put on a cake. It's heaven on earth. The little mint green icon kind. Deep and delicious chocolate cake. A weird amalgamation of all of them. The kind that's actually a pie. Mississippi mud pie, don't get deceived by the name, it's cake. Texas sheet cake, literally is almost entirely sugar, but it's so amazing.